by 84-48. In the NHL, the Washington Capitals beat the Chicago Blackhawks 4-2. And tonight, the Red Wings are on the road at the Dallas Stars at 8 o'clock. Tonight in the NBA, the Pistons are home to face the Indiana Pacers at 7 o'clock. And tonight, the Bulls are on the road at Milwaukee at 8 o'clock. With sports, I'm Dave Wolf.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
We are back in full force. Back to, I would say, close to 100%. Maybe not quite a full 100%, but getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Thank you for covering last week, even though you were not feeling 100% either.
It was one of those, you were like, I don't think I can do it. It's like, well, I think I can at least talk and do some stuff, and at least wake up with my alarm. But I pretty much did the show and then went right back to bed for a bulk of the week.
Did you watch any Christmas movies?
I've watched Home Alone and Home Alone 2 about 3 or 4 times
already
this season.
Oh my gosh!
It's been off in the background.
Do you clean the VCR every so often?
No, but what's funny is Jocelyn's mom had a storage unit, and we were cleaning some of the stuff out this weekend, and I found a VHS of Twister.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
and I told you that my one of our what will be, I guess, a spare bedroom / just den,
right,
or entertainment room, whatever you want to call it. It's evolving. It's going to have the big TV, and I'm going to break out my VCR / DVD combo. I have 2 of them.
Nice.
But I'm going to put that one in there, and then eventually, I'm considering a gaming system.
Okay.
But probably not going to be like the fancy PlayStations or Xboxes or anything. I'll probably go old school, like a retro
Nintendo, like a Super NES would be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Either that one or the classic entertainment system would be sweet, because I just want something small.
Yeah.
But if I want to play some of the games that I love, I'd rather do that instead of, because I'll be honest with you. Ever since I was probably in high school, high school was probably one of the last times I really played video games.
Wow.
Like Madden 2005 was like the last football game I think I played. So it just got too complicated. There's like, especially with football, there's like, just to throw a pass, you needed to like press 7 buttons.
I agree. The sports games, because I want to play those, but they're just too complicated.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot of I just want to go and play.
Yeah.
Not like GTA, which the new trailer of the GTA 6 dropped last week.
You excited about it?
In my delirium, I may or may not have watched that trailer.
You thought you were dreaming?
I thought I was dreaming. I wanted to make sure it was real. And then it was definitely real when I saw that it won't be released until 2025.
Ooh.
People. So the last.
Hang on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We'll talk about it here in just a moment, because this is interesting stuff. Because I know a lot of people have been talking about this whole thing.
Around 40 on Wednesday and back into the mid-40s at the end of the week. I'm meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. You can be part of the show anytime. You can call 925-WSJM. You can email let's talk at WSJM.com. We're on our Facebook and our YouTube if you want to come hang out with us and chat about all kinds of different things. I want to say a quick hello to Bill, who's watching on our Facebook page. Also, hello to my mother.
Hi, Mrs. Reinhardt.
She's watching right now. What is she doing up? She's just getting up this early. She usually watches afterwards.
Awesome.
But it's nice to have those people watching and all the other ones that are watching. If you're not, head on over to our Facebook and our YouTube. It's an interesting way to experience the show. And another way you can experience the show is with the WSJM Holiday Breakfast Blend event that is happening on this Thursday, where you can see us in person, hang out with us, have breakfast with us, play some games with us, and then also hang out with Michael Patrick Shields from Michigan's Big Show.
That's going to be fun.
And it's only $9.49. So get your tickets now at WSJM.com and the WSJM app. While we were on our live stream, you were just talking about this. And this is something I know you're a big fan of.
It's silly. It's really silly.
Yeah, I mean, and there are a lot of people that are huge fans of this game, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, boy.
Now, the current Grand Theft Auto is number 5.
Yes, sir.
Right?
GTA 5 is out. It was released in 2013.
So it's
10
been
years
10
ago.
years that this game, because I remember, speaking of me not playing video games very often, I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 1. And I think I played Grand Theft Auto 2.
That's like Pong.
Exactly. I think I played Grand Theft Auto 2 at one point, but I think that was probably the last of the Grand Theft Auto franchise that I experienced. So, all right, so they are going to release number 6, and a lot of people were going crazy last week because they released
The trailer.
the trailer for it.
The first trailer. It's trailer number 1. And so far, so that trailer is probably right around 90 seconds.
Okay.
And so far, it's been viewed over 140 million times.
Wow.
It was, and that's probably a conservative estimate, but within the first day or two, it had over 80 million views, and it's been called one of the biggest trailer drop debuts, certainly of a video game ever.
Wow.
Yeah, and so GTA 6, which obviously it's still early yet because they say they won't release it, the game itself, until 2025. So it's going to be what, 12 years old by the time the next version of this game comes out.
So tell me, and enlighten some of the other people.
It's ridiculous, and don't let your kids play it.
Being PG-13 with your explanation, in a nutshell, you spend time being a criminal.
Right, doing criminal things. And so in GTA 5, you have your choice of 3 different characters, and there's a whole storyline about it. And it's categorized as a sandbox game, which I think is the allure to me, is you can go and do anything you want, or you can join in a story mission or something along those lines. But yeah, it's all about criminal enterprise stuff, and it's incredibly entertaining. And the new 6, what sets it apart is it's the first time they're introducing a female protagonist as one of the main characters of the video game.
Interesting.
And so the franchise is saying, hey, look, we've got a Bonnie and Clyde type setup here. We're going to base it back in Miami like we have some of the previous GTA games. And the map, again, because it's a sandbox, and what that means is it's just open. You can walk anywhere you want, anytime you want. You don't have to go find asteroids when they tell you to. You just walk around and do whatever you want. Sure. But it's set in Miami, and I think the map is rumored to be as large as from Miami to Tampa. And plus the Everglades.
See, since I don't play video games, what I do still enjoy is watching other people play video games, which
esports.
The funny part is that that's what a lot of people make a lot of money on YouTube doing, is just playing video games. And I've always been fascinated by the fact that I know when I was a kid, I used to watch my brothers or my friends play a video game if I wasn't playing a video game. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of parents and grandparents are like, why is my son or daughter spending all this time watching YouTube of somebody else playing a video game instead of actually playing the video game? It is interesting, but think about it. You were probably doing that when you were a kid.
Yeah. The finest memories I have, my dad and I with video games is when I had the Mike Tyson knockout.
Ooh, yeah. And did you beat it?
Well, I don't think I ever beat Mike Tyson.
Because my brothers, I have fond memories of my brothers beating Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Yeah.
I remember them beating multiple times Super Mario Brothers number 3.
That's fun.
Which is a classic, and a lot of those video games. Me, on the other hand, I couldn't get past the 3rd or 4th level. So it's interesting to see. So that game, and a lot of people love watching or playing the Fortnite and Minecraft.
Fortnite
and a lot
just
of
had
those
a big update. My kids were really excited about this, the Fortnite update. And the funny thing about that one was there were so many people trying to get into the unveil of the new update, that it just kicked people out and said, okay, your wait time to get back into the lobby to even get a chance at seeing what's going on, 3 hours.
Were you disappointed?
And Eminem actually had a live concert
Oh,
inside the game,
I've seen that happen too, which I find interesting.
which was fun.
There's been a few artists that have been having these special concerts only available
In the game.
which is weird. This virtual reality thing that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So were you disappointed when the trailer came out that it wasn't saying at the end being released by Christmas? Because I'm sure you were hoping that underneath your Christmas tree was going to be a copy of this GTA 6.
Yeah. I've been disappointed for the last 6 years. So,
Been disappointed since 2013, since the game came out.
but I gotta hand it to Rockstar. They do amazing gaming experiences for the kids, and I think they've got Red Dead Redemption out there, which is an old Western game, and it teaches little pieces of history, so that's fun too.
Right, so you're actually learning something.
You're
while playing
learning
video
stuff.
games.
That's right.
Look at that.
Maybe not.
Speaking of that, I'm trying to find the thing here. Oh yeah. Speaking of video games, they're having mice play virtual reality games now. Scientists
They are
recently,
not.
this is a real thing. Story. Scientists recently put VR goggles on lab mice to
Stable
see
on
how
there?
they.
Sorry.
No, they probably just look like nice little sunglasses.
Okay.
To see how they respond to things in the wild, especially predatory birds.
Oh.
Contrary to other VR devices for mice, researchers at Northwestern University, not too far from here, created one more lifelike. The new goggles are attached to the base of the system, which covers a mouse's entire field of vision. Researchers want to simulate other things in nature, like mice chasing small prey as well. Because if you think about it, the lab mice, they're born in probably in captivity in the lab, so they may not know how to experience life outside of the box.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting.
Yeah, I have a prediction that when a big velociraptor is coming at a mouse, it's going to run.
A giant bird? Yeah. I would assume that innate survival trait will kick in. I'm gonna. It looks like
I think they can build a mousetrap.
right. That just looks like a simulated picture.
VR for mice.
VR for mice. This is the world we're living in. That mice are now wearing VR
That's
goggles.
crazy. That's something else. Did you hear about the tomato gate in the space station?
No, what's going on with this?
So the remains of a tiny tomato lost by a NASA astronaut after an off-Earth harvest last March has finally been found on the International Space Station.
Okay, so where were they growing it?
They grew it in the International Space
Inside.
Station, inside the International Space Station, and at some point, one of the astronauts was responsible for picking, harvesting, and storing the tomatoes. Well, they missed the tomato. He said, "Well, I secured it down. I picked it. I velcroed it. Blah blah blah." And we missed it. They couldn't account for it. And on the International Space Station, they account for everything, including probably human methane and emissions.
Right.
So when they lost this tomato, people were saying, "Well, you ate it, didn't you? You ate it before you got off the space station." Well, the astronaut, Frank Rubio, who already had been headed home, he had been blamed for quite a while for eating the tomato. But there are a couple of astronauts up there who lost a wrench out in space. They said they found the tomato.
Okay.
They found the tomato finally.
Not the wrench, though.
They didn't find a wrench. That's off to Mars or Jupiter by now. But it was a big inside joke for NASA. It was a 1-inch wide red robin dwarf tomato. It was part of the final harvest for a vegetable experiment that Rubio himself attended the plans. He said he stored it in a Ziploc bag, but floated it away before he could take a bite. The first time they discussed this missing tomato was in September, and Rubio said, "I did what I was supposed to do. I don't know who took the tomato." And he spent hours looking for the thing. He never could find it. And he said, "I'm sure that because the humidity inside the space station is 17%, that it was going to be desiccated, dried out. No one was ever going to find it, but they did find it."
So it's like in the back of the fridge.
I don't know. They haven't discussed exactly where they found it or why it took them hours to look around. But yeah, so they grew a tomato in space, then they lost the tomato in space, and now they found it.
My favorite part of this whole entire thing is that this has become a national headline.
Yeah.
Where everybody's like, well, who lost the tomato? Was it this guy? Was it this person? And it's one of those things where, just like humans on Earth, when you say, oh, well, look in the pantry or look in the fridge for the missing thing. Well, I don't know where it is. They had to get somebody else to come and point it out. Say, if I open that fridge right now and I find the tomato, I'm going to be mad.
I would have figured that he ate it. And because, have you ever watched Naked and Afraid?
Yep.
Okay. In Naked and Afraid, there was one contestant who ate tomatoes before he went on the show.
Okay.
Because you couldn't take anything with you on the show. And then after he was on the show, he had a movement and his tomato seeds were in his fecal matter there. And he planted them to try to get some kind of sprouts.
Oh, come on.
Afterwards. So I was thinking this NASA astronaut probably was doing the same thing. He's like, yeah, space tomatoes. Gonna sell these babies for a lot. Jack and the Beanstalk, here I come.
Hopefully no one's had breakfast this morning.
It's a plant. It's manure.
It's interesting that they were so meticulous on how they're keeping track of all this stuff, because anytime I watch videos of astronauts, especially when they're doing demonstrations of zero gravity, they're just taking their food and squirting it everywhere, tossing M&Ms all over the place, and letting those float around. But now they're like, wait a minute, what happened to the tomato? I don't know. Some dude was probably doing backflips and doing all kinds of other tricks and things with the tomato.
Well, and honestly, you've grown tomatoes.
I have.
Anytime you have cherry tomatoes, if you're harvesting them, you eat a few as you're harvesting.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
Yeah, you want to see what space tomato tastes like.
Exactly. Is it good? Yeah.
Tomatoes from outer space. What I was hoping happened to this story was that it then went off into space and they found it, but it became 10 times its size, and it became a monster tomato.
That would have been really
That
cool.
would have been a better story.
Yeah.
But
You
there
want
you
to
go.
catch up.
All right. Well, we've got other things to get to here this morning. We'll catch you up with news, sports, and your Bloomberg Market Minute. That's all next.
I'm Jason Hiska, CEO of Sturgis Bank and Trust.
And I'm Matt Shesky, President and Chief Operating Officer. Christmas has always been my family. Waking up early.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Bill. Hey, Debbie. Thank you for the welcome back. Let's see. You have to try Monster Energy Supercross game. Oh,
Yeah,
I love Supercross.
I played the
Motorcycle games.
motorcycle games and dirt bike games before. I'm not very good at them. I'm not very good at the driving games unless I have an actual wheel and a shifter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then I'm much better. But trying to play a racing game with just the little thumbs and joysticks and all that stuff, not so good.
That's one of the things that I really, really find enjoyable for hours on end is the driving. And in the game we're talking about, you can get any car you see, you can heist,
Right.
and drive around. And in the new one, apparently, the nicer the car, the harder it will be to steal.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if it's sitting in a parking lot somewhere, or if even somebody's driving it and you stop them, probably even better security.
I don't know about the carjacking, but in the parking lot, definitely harder.
Interesting. Now, this is what you would call, is this a third person type game where usually you see the person walking? You're not
You
a
can
first
play
person.
first person.
You can play first
Yeah,
person as well.
that's one of the things they have different views that you can enact for any at any point in the game, basically.
Cool.
Where you can watch the person that you're controlling, or you can actually be the eyes of the person. Which you raise a good point. VR, maybe they'll incorporate that into the game.
Yeah, because VR was not really much of a thing
It wasn't.
in 2013 with the first game. Maybe that's why it's taking so long.
I think they're just making bank off.
That's why. Because they're probably still making money on. So they released this game back in 2013.
Yep.
And do they offer updates to the game? Because I know that's why Fortnite and some of these other games are so popular, because they keep adding worlds and things to it.
So they have what's called the story mode.
Okay.
And they have the online mode. And the online mode is where they're making the bank.
Yeah.
because you have the opportunity to buy different skins,
Sure.
all this other stuff, silly stuff. I don't do any of that. I like the story mode because I can control it. But they have offered one or two major upgrades that did cost money,
Okay.
and obviously everyone bought them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's not like sports ball games where usually they release a new sports ball game every year.
Yeah.
Which honestly, at this point, with the cost of a lot of those games, I would much rather pay the money for the game like one time and then just pay for little updates each year.
Yeah.
Because not a whole lot changes. Of course, the graphics and all that's changed, but the players and stuff those don't change.
The graphics are incredibly amazing on the previous version just because of some of the updates. And so they've kept up with the times. They've updated with the different platforms that it's good for. But
I think that's why I don't play it, but I like watching Minecraft because it's just so simple and just pixel blocks.
that is the only game that has outsold GTA.
Really?
Minecraft.
People love it, man.
Great game.
That's
why it's hard to find contractors, because everyone's playing Minecraft.
Right.
They're building virtually instead of in the real world.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What's going on over there?
Just getting things ready for our Bloomberg Market Minute here in just a moment.
Did you see there was another hot mic event with one of the presidential candidates?
No, what happened?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh, yeah?
Had a microphone on. Do you want to talk about this now, or we want to wait for...
Let's talk about it in a little
news?
bit. Let's
Okay.
talk about it after the news.
All right.
But yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
You know, really, people need to assume that, and I know because I've been broadcasting for so many years, you have to always assume that the microphone is on. Even when
Always.
the microphone, because like for here, we have lights.
Yeah.
The lights turn on, the microphones, the speakers, all that stuff, it changes when the microphone is on. But anytime I'm at a live event somewhere doing things and there's a microphone nearby, I always assume the microphone is hot.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially with your phones these days.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always listening.
All right. Let's listen to the Bloomberg Market Minute and let's get back to what's going on the news as well.
For $21 a share, which was a 21% premium to Macy's closing stock price on Friday. And the offer comes just ahead of CEO Jeff Gennette retiring in February after almost 7 years. He'll make way for Bloomingdale's CEO Tony Spring. Cigna and Humana won't be merging, at least not anytime soon. Cigna ended discussions after failing to agree on a price to take over Humana. Sources say talks were made more difficult as Cigna shares fell, even though the two sides believed in the merger and thought it could pass antitrust scrutiny. Some investors worried about a prolonged review process. The combination would have created a gigantic health insurance company with a combined market value of about $135 billion. Stock futures are slipping this morning after a sixth straight week of gains for Wall Street. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, just past 7:30. Today it's going to be partly sunny, high 38. Tonight we're looking at clear skies, low down to 28. And then on Tuesday, we got sunny skies with a high of around 40. Lots to get to this morning. Catch you up with sports here in just a few. Right now, let's find out what's happening in the news.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. An Elkhart, Indiana man is in custody following a chase with police in Berrien and Cass counties over the weekend. Cass County Sheriff's Department says its deputies were notified that the Niles Police Department and Berrien County Sheriff's Department were in pursuit of a vehicle that was heading into Cass County. The chase took officers northbound on M60 near Yankee Street. The pursuit continued into Cassopolis, where officers deployed stop sticks, damaging the suspect's vehicle, his tires. It crashed behind a home on Lakeview Drive in Penn Township. The 41-year-old male driver was the only occupant of the vehicle and was taken into custody and then turned over to the Berrien County Sheriff's Department. The incident remains under investigation. Police say it's a pretty good assumption that alcohol and drugs were factors in that incident. Michigan Department of Transportation is receiving funds from the Federal Railroad Administration to study the potential for expanding Amtrak lines in Michigan. That includes the Pear Marquette line from Chicago to Grand Rapids. MDOT's Michael Frizzell tells us 3 lines will each receive about a $500,000 grant for the study. In addition to Pear Marquette, studies on the potentials for expansion will be done on the Amtrak lines from Port Huron to Chicago and Detroit to Chicago. And a man who was reported missing in Coloma Township on Friday has been found, unfortunately, dead. The Coloma Township Police Department says officers were called to a home on Park Road shortly after 10 a.m. on a report of a missing man. The man had dementia. The man was later identified as 69-year-old George Becker. Police searched the home and nearby outbuildings. They didn't find Becker. A larger search then began with the help of Michigan State Police, Berrien County Sheriff's Department, North Berrien Fire and Rescue, and Great Lakes Drone. Shortly before 4 p.m., Becker was found but dead. The investigation is ongoing, but police say foul play is not suspected. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Dave Wolf has sports coming up here in just a few minutes. Also catch you up with what's going on with ABC News. But right now, let's find out what's happening around the state with the Michigan News Network.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. A second person of interest has been taken into custody in the murder of Detroit Jewish leader Samantha Wohl. She was stabbed in her home in October. This is the second person of interest, as the first one was released. Novi native Paul Whelan, who's been a prisoner in Russia for nearly 5 years, is calling on the Biden administration to take action to secure his release. In a statement released by his family, Whelan says a year has passed since the last prisoner exchange between the U.S. and Russia, and his life is destined to end in a slave labor camp. It goes on to say the unconscionable act of leaving him behind twice now has devalued his life, and he's been told for nearly 5 years that his release was a priority. Before thanking family, friends, and supporters, Whelan writes, quote, "Please bring me home." Have you thought about powering your home with solar energy? Michigan ranks 24th in the country for solar energy, but is expected to grow in the next 5 years. I'm Beth Fisher for the Michigan News Network.
Every year, millions of people find a health plan at healthcare.gov during open enrollment. They enjoy more doctor visits, pick up prescriptions, and find the care they need. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 a month or less with financial help. Final deadline to enroll is January 16th. Healthcare.
I come back after, battling off the COVIDs.
Right.
And a lot has changed around here.
I noticed that too, because I was at home as well. So this is my first time in the building since, I was off on Monday last week. So the week prior, Friday was the last time I was here. So a lot has changed in the building.
But I watched a marathon of The Office while I was laying horizontal.
Just so you felt like you were still in the office?
Still in the office. Well, because it's hilarious, because silly stuff happens. And one of the episodes that was playing while I was in and out of sleep was the one where Pam leaves notes on the microwave saying, "Hey, clean it up."
Sure, yeah.
So I go back just now to get some water because trying to soothe my throat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big, long paragraph note on the water cooler that says, basically, "Hey, dolts."
Is it
refill it?
Are you talking post? I haven't seen this note. Post-it note or typed?
No,
is it typed
it's
out?
typed and printed out and cut to size and taped on there.
Gosh.
Oh, you got to go read that.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And basically, and I've seen this a million times. I go back to the water cooler, and because all the water, each jug is stored downstairs.
Yeah.
Our water cooler is upstairs.
Much like everybody's office. It's a tale as old as time.
Right. And so nobody fills it when it's empty. And I mean, I know I fill it when I see it.
That is my biggest pet peeve my biggest pet peeve is just other people in the office not picking up for other people.
But who's doing it? Who I want to name? Let's name names. I want to know who's not filling the water cooler. So much so that they needed to put a paragraph note on the thing.
I think we need to do an all-staff email.
I didn't get a thank you every time I put it on, which I don't want one.
Right, and no one should want to thank you for when either the filling the water cooler, the replacing the toilet paper.
Although when you do the toilet paper, make sure it goes over.
It's got to go
under.
Oh, of course. Do not go
I noticed
under.
it was under again.
It was under.
Drives me crazy.
We need to name names on who are the people that also are the unders.
I'm going to start checking the ladies' room to see if they're doing it right.
There's only one way to do the toilet paper. The inventors of toilet paper in the patent
I bet they did.
have one way. It goes over the top. If you look at the patent for toilet paper,
really,
it's over the top. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, whether it's the Easy Tear or not, the new Easy Tear from Charmin.
Have they released that yet? I know
Yeah,
they studied
I believe
it for
so.
5 years.
I believe they've got it out. But yeah, the water cooler thing, the people that leave, another pet peeve is the people that leave their stuff in the fridge.
Oh yeah.
Like their lunch, and then their lunch from like 3 weeks ago is still in there. And it's growing mold and it becomes a science project.
Yeah.
Last I knew, we were not a scientific research facility. We're just a radio station.
Yeah.
So when you're growing mold and doing all that, I don't know if it's for your kid's science project or what, but it doesn't need to be in there.
No. Clean that baby out.
So I'm glad there's a note. It's sad that there's a note because it's sad that we've gone this far and people aren't picking up for each other. With that, but hey, what are you gonna do? Good morning to Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Teresa asked, "Are you guys feeling better?" What would you say your percentage?
I'm 85.
85.
Yeah.
I'm about 90, 95.
Right.
I do not have I did not ask you this. Did you lose your sense of taste and smell?
I don't know.
Your coffee? You taste the coffee?
So. You know, I'm dealing with a number of different things, but I don't know that my loss of taste or smell has gotten any worse.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that.
Because I can tell you're still congested. So
I am. I'm a little congested. The weird thing was during it, I wasn't as congested as I am now. So I think everything is just like working its way out.
Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah. Because I at one point, I can't remember.
Did you lose?
I lost, taste and smell. Still don't have it.
Oh.
It's like very faint.
Yeah.
Like my taste and smell senses are probably at about 20%.
Yikes.
25%.
Does it differ based on salt or sweet or anything?
Not really.
Oh.
Like I made dinner last night. But there were a couple times during last week that I didn't even care about eating because it was like, I kind of have a little
more like work.
Yeah. It was like, what do I eat? Do I even need to like season anything or add anything, or can I just pretty much eat cardboard and it's the same thing? But yeah, I was making something the other day and I was trying to smell and taste to see how it was doing and couldn't taste it or smell it.
Yeah.
So
that's so weird.
I don't know. I need like hand sanitizer or something like that to see if I can smell some of that.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's odd. And I've asked some people that I know that have had this happen to them where they lost their sense of taste and smell, how long that lasts.
I think it varies.
Because I know some people that have had it for where they've lost their sense of taste and smell and they lost it for a large amount of time. Some it was like a week, but I don't know. It's starting to make its way back, but like I said, it's only about 20-25%. And I need my taste and smell. I have a pretty good palate, so I need that.
Well, just rely on Jocelyn.
Hers is also lost.
Oh no.
It's starting to come back for her.
Okay, good.
But like last night I asked, okay, did you taste this? Did you taste this spice? Did you taste this? She's like, a little bit, but nothing too drastic. Like tasting this, like spicy things.
Yeah.
You can kind of feel the burn, but not really taste the spiciness.
I'll have to delve into this further.
I put a shallot in what I made last night, and Jocelyn said she could taste the shallot.
Oh.
So
okay, that's good.
But yeah, that's about it.
A shallot. That's very refined.
I love a good shallot. Thank you.
Very refined.
Yeah, shallot. There was garlic in there. I made like a homemade hamburger helper kind of thing.
Yum.
So I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Add these spices. Do all this. and I tasted it, and it just tasted like macaroni meat structure, like even like all the meat seasoning and all the different stuff that I put in there. I didn't taste any of it.
I did make mac and cheese over the weekend.
Ooh.
And because Stephanie said, we always have this debate, what sounds good for dinner? And she said, well, what about mac and cheese? And I immediately thought, I did a head snap, like, you want me to make mac and cheese from a box? And she looked at me weird, like, no, just do the noodles and the cheese thing.
Right.
So, I did the trick where you do the noodles, you do the cheese. Sometimes you put a little milk in there. I avoided that just because I don't like mixing milk and colds. It just feels weird because you like really gum yourself up.
Yeah.
So I did the trick where you just put a little bit of the ladle in the water.
Yeah, the pasta water.
The pasta water in it. And it worked so well this time. It was amazing. It was so creamy. And I also sauteed orange bell peppers in there as nibs in the mac and cheese.
Right.
So good.
Do you always put pasta water in the sauces?
Not always.
Because I was always told, or I watched some chefs say that's how the sauce incorporates with the noodle. Like it doesn't
makes it
quite
more creamy.
It doesn't quite stick to the sauce doesn't quite stick to the noodle. If you make like a red sauce or anything like that, if you add a little bit of pasta water, somehow makes it meld together, bind together. Science, man.
It helps. Yeah, it definitely helps. And I don't know if it's the starch in the water because the starches have come off the pastas. But it's a good idea. So you never throw it out when you're cooking.
No, never. My mother's advice: no sugar, no dairy when you're sick.
See, there you go. Mom knows.
Mom knows.
Thank you.
Yep. So yeah. All right. We got a lot of other things to get to here.
We got health tips. We got menu items.
Absolutely. Food talk.
And by the way, if the water cooler thing is empty, go fill it back up.
Absolutely. All right. Let's get to
you got to go see that note.
I'm going to have to check out this note here in a moment. Heating, cooling, and electrical in Southwest Michigan. Boss Services.
Mostly cloudy skies for the first half of today, becoming partly sunny this afternoon, but high temperatures staying right around 38. Tonight down to 28 with clear skies. Winds a little bit gusty overnight. And then for tomorrow, a lot more sunshine, mostly sunny, and highs right about 40 degrees. We'll be around 40 on Wednesday and back into the mid-40s at the end of the week. I'm meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Join us this Thursday for the WSJM Holiday Breakfast Blend event with the Morning Show and the Michigan's Big Show with Michael Patrick Shields.
MPS.
It's going to be a great time. Yeah. We're looking forward to it. $9.49 for your ticket, and that gets you into the breakfast and all that good stuff.
That's
all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Great deal. I don't think you can even go out to breakfast right now at a diner for $9.49 a person.
I think you're right.
So you're going to get a great deal and a great time. So head on over to WSJM.com and the WSJM app and get your tickets for that. If you're one of those people that's the holiday office party planner, just come to this instead. Just have your whole office just come there instead of, going out and planning a big party.
Yeah.
This will be all you need.
That'll be great.
The one thing that you missed last week is the, I believe, fourth debate for the Republican side of things for presidential candidates, and Ramaswamy had his microphone on. What's happening?
No, this wasn't part of the presidential debate.
Okay,
this was after that. Vivek Ramaswamy, he's 38 years old. He's running for president. He's still making the debate stages of I don't know if there are any left at this point, but he was on X has this thing called X Spaces.
Yeah.
And apparently he brought new meaning to the word live stream because he was mic'd up for this discussion with Elon Musk, Alex Jones, who's apparently really, really controversial, apparently. I say in quotes, air quotes, and a slew of other personalities. And Vivek Ramaswamy, he joined the stream for a while, talking with Elon Musk and others.
Sure.
And then he had to excuse himself. Musk and one of the other personalities were right in the middle of talking, but then all of a sudden they could hear additional audio coming from Ramaswamy He had his phone on with him in the bathroom, and they heard him all of a sudden relieving himself.
So remind me of this Spaces.
X Spaces.
X Spaces. This is not like a video.
It's not a video, thank goodness.
So this is, and you do
it's just audio.
And you do it on your phone.
Yeah, you
right?
just have you have the app open and you got the live stream going.
So he had the
it's
app
like all
open.
those other little things that came out. What was the one?
It was called.
It was like Bandcamp or something like that. What was it called?
You know, I don't know why I can't remember it, but it was another one of those Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, that's what it was.
I think.
Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. And there are a few like it where you just have this audio thing going and you set up a live stream and then everyone joins it. And typically the moderators have the ability to kick people in and out. But if you joined as a presenter, you then lose the opportunity to be able to mute somebody. So Vivek's in the bathroom and the host yells out, "Hey, somebody's got their microphone open and they're in the bathroom." They couldn't mute him.
This reminds me of, it was, I think the first, maybe the second Naked Gun movie.
Yeah.
And they're having this big press conference with the mayor and all that. Yeah. And Leslie Nielsen's character goes off into the bathroom.
Oh, no.
And you just hear him. He's singing. He's having a great time. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, is this going to help or hurt his candidacy?
I don't know. He responded to it with a little bit of humor. Ramaswamy returned to the call and said, "Hey, sorry about that." Elon Musk said, "Well, we hope you feel better now." And he just responded, "I feel great. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that."
I would be worried about that too, because the good thing about radio is that the microphones are stagnant. Like
they're tethered.
They're tethered. So I feel like if I was on television, like if I was a TV news reporter or anchor, always mic'd up, I would be afraid to go to the bathroom. Because
you'd always want to physically unplug it.
Everybody, even the producers that are listening to me off the air would be able to hear me go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I would probably a few times forget to shut my microphone.
And we've both been around people enough to know that even if you're like whispering, it's like, oh, let me cover it with my hand and just whisper something funny to you that shouldn't be on the mic. Don't do that because the mic picks it up. Yeah.
Microphone is always on. People are always, and parents, people are always listening, including the children. So anytime when you think you can just cover your kid's ear,
what'd you hear?
Earmuffs or something like that, that doesn't work.
Did you hear something?
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people
your mom's
have realized
right
that.
now.
My mother's listening. Yeah, Mom, I heard everything. Coming up here in just a little bit, we'll have your Moody on the Market update. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
I'm Jamie from Bridgman, and I've been a patient of Dr. Cooper's for a year. If you're one of those people who thinks about your dry eyes once a day, once a week, and you think it's just a normal part of aging or it's something that you just have to deal with, you really don't. If you just make an appointment with Dr. Cooper and go in, there are things that she can do today to make your situation better before it progresses and gets worse.
If you're struggling with dry eye, schedule an appointment at lifevisioneyecare.com.
United Federal Credit Union was created by members for members. We get you because, well, we are you. We know that checking accounts aren't very exciting, but what if you found one that paid you for spending or saving? Those kicky shoes you just absolutely had to have. Cash back. The money sitting in your checking account while you wait for the latest and greatest tech gadget. Dividends. You choose the way you get rewarded. Getting paid to shop or save? Check. United Federal Credit Union. We get you. Insured by NCUA.
You know how to hang. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing?
How's everybody? Doing great.
You had like a coughing fit this morning. Are you feeling less coffee this morning?
No, I'm not. I mean, it's the cough is driven by dry throat.
Yeah. I hate that.
And it's incredibly dry right now. And every time we go into a newscast, I feel like the air conditioning kicks on just like.
And yeah, I hate being sick in general, but I hate dry air, especially during the winter time when you just have that dry feeling where like no amount of water or tea can stop the dryness.
Yeah.
It's
honey can help.
Honey can help sometimes.
Yeah.
But do you have I didn't notice the little bear sitting by you anywhere to just
I should have brought the bear in. Yeah, the bear's not here. Now we have one of those little honey things with the stick on it.
Oh yeah,
those
the
are
little
fun.
Stick guy.
Those are fun.
Nice. All right, let's get back to the show.
94.9 WSJM.
When you want to know what's happening in Southwest Michigan, especially when it comes to business, interesting people you should know in Southwest Michigan, why we love it here, you can find it all right at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. Our team of contributors always on it. We also have your Moody on the Move series, a new one with the Center for Growth and Independence. Pat Moody's hanging out with them this month. And check out our awards program, too. 40 Under 40, Best Places to Work, Bold Women of Business, all right there at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. Your update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency, with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
And looking at the interesting people you should know, Greg Sanders, Chief Deputy of the Berrien County Sheriff's Department, has graduated as a member of the 288th session of the FBI National Academy.
Ooh, fun.
How cool is that? Sanders is one of only a few officers in department history to complete this prestigious program. Nationally, fewer than 1% of officers have the opportunity to attend the program. Sanders' graduation took place at the National Academy in Quantico, Virginia this past week on December 7th.
Now, internationally known for its academic excellence, the FBI National Academy does offer 10 weeks of advanced communication, leadership, and fitness training. That'd be fun. Participants must have proven records as professionals within their agencies to attend. Now, on average, these officers have 21 years of law enforcement experience and usually return to their agencies to serve in executive level positions.
Yeah, Quantico is a lot of fun.
Yeah, you been there?
Been there a couple of times.
Ooh.
Once, as a congressional staffer, we were taken around by the FBI. Went to Hogan's Alley, where they have the little car training.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool. They also let us shoot some submachine guns things and one of the ranges and stuff like that. And then also they do have a firing range out there.
Okay.
That that civilians can use if you go through the proper clearance and training. And I think 300-yard and 600-yard range out there. They probably have a longer one, but they didn't let me use that one.
No.
So that was fun.
Probably not.
But they've got HRT stuff out there, hostage rescue training, tactical teams and stuff like that. So probably a really great experience.
Oh, I bet.
For folks to go through when they're doing it for real, not just touring it.
Absolutely.
Tourists. But Berrien County Sheriff Paul Bailey commented, "Congratulations to Chief Deputy Greg Sanders on his graduation from the FBI National Academy and his dedication to this executive level leadership training course." He says, "We believe that this intensive training will benefit our community and Berrien County Sheriff's Office as he transitions into his position as under sheriff that begins on January 1, 2024, because Chuck Haidt is obviously going to be the sheriff and on an interim basis at least. And then his under sheriff will be Greg Sanders.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. You can see all that and more at moodyonthemarket.com.
I want to go through FBI training.
It's fun.
I'm going to sign me up for that. That's my bucket list.
Then you can go after Hannibal Lecter because I think he's still out there.
Maybe I could just have Greg just teach me.
Yeah, there you go. We can set one up here.
Just give me your crash course of what you learned.
Here, Johnny, go run 5 miles that direction, then come back. That's
I won't get that far. 5 miles?
No, I don't know.
Can I do the short version?
You can do the short version.
the fun run version? All right. Well, check out that story and more at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. Your update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
Here's Rich Brandt and Tara Halsey from Insurance.
All right, everybody.
I mean, you want to be at the FBI training, but I think they're probably going to have some cool training when they get the police academy stood up at LMC.
Yeah.
So we'll have to explore that.
Because they're still working on putting all that stuff together?
Yep.
Man, that's going to be cool. Is
That's
that for next
really
year?
Cool. Yeah, next year.
Man. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do.
I don't
know. What obstacles are going to be available to anybody? I mean, obviously, if you're going to be a student, but is it going to be all on the Lake Michigan College campus over down on Napier? They're going to have like another place somewhere.
I think we need to do an update on that.
All right.
Find out. Did you get any Christmas shopping done while you were
no
under the weather?
No.
I did. I got a little done.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to do it online because I couldn't go out.
Right.
So
anything good?
Well, I can't say, but
okay.
But I'm pleased.
But as far as
with
the
my
list
progress.
of the amount of people, how many people did you knock down off the list as far as gifts go?
I mean, there are probably a few different little things that I want to get for everyone on that list, and I think everyone has at least one green check mark behind them.
There you go.
I'll say that.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Well, yeah, but I still want to do the stocking stuffers and
Of course.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
The fun little stuff that you have to go find in person.
Like those meat sticks that you had at Stuff a Truck. Get some of those.
What were they, bison or elk or something like that Paul Landecker kept leaving around.
Delicious.
Jeez.
That's
so funny.
That's actually usually because they're made by Zix, which is in Berrien Springs, so it's local. And since I am a meat eater, and most of my family is, that's what I usually get for stocking stuffers is some of those.
Oh, that's a good
things.
idea.
Toss some, little snacks here and there.
That's
some
a
meat
really
sticks.
good idea. Maybe I'll get that for some of the boys.
There you go.
Because the boys, they still eat meat.
And then do you put oranges in the stockings? That's a thing too.
Coal. I put coal
You
in
put
there.
coal in there?
Yeah.
I have some coal if you want to borrow it. I got a bag,
I
a
just
fresh
go get
bag.
I get the briquettes from the barbecue.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for the well wishes.
Yay.
And good to have us both back here in the studio.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Off to work you go.
See y'all.
We still got another hour of the show left, so you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.